We'll get started in just a second here. If you wouldn't mind just taking a seat. And a couple last people signing in to register. Well, I think the next time we ever have a meeting or a public forum, all we have to do is mention there's pickleball afterwards, and we'll have, these people will show up every time. Well, thanks for coming. My name is Mario Bazille. I'm Chief Administrative Assistant for Cynthia Sheng, the Parish President. I was the former Recreation Director. We're just excited for you guys to be here. This is a long time coming, and I'm going to turn it over to the Parish President. She's going to say a few words, and then we'll get started with our program. Thank you.
All right, thank you all for being with us here today. We're going to veer off our agenda a little bit because I want to get him out of here, but I want to thank him. This is our colleague, Councilman Dino Bonanno. As you can also see, he is not just a councilman. He is a first responder and always has been for us. And he's also the reason that we're all going to be playing in the shade, okay? So right about the time I started, I think I was taking my first pickleball lesson in October at our JPRD recreational facility, and somebody's like, you going to the meeting tonight? You going to the meeting tonight? I'm like, what meeting? I think some of you all were having a meeting and basically explained the need for shade, and the councilman committed some of his capital project funds to the tune of $800,000 to put shade on those courts. So we did not have that. So a big pickleball supporter and a new player as well. So I just want to personally thank you, council member, because this pickleball complex would be great, but without the shade, it would be very difficult for us in our hot summer. So I want to turn it over to Councilman Bonanno, and we are in his district. So yes.
Yes, welcome to Council District 2. Thank you all for being here tonight. I wasn't expecting to have to work tonight, but I do. In another life, I play a sergeant in the city counter. The real reason I'm in uniform is I heard how competitive you guys get, and I heard that somebody all get out of control, and they need to be some time for people to intervene and separate y'all. No, all kidding aside, thank you all for volunteering to help us with this program. You know, you guys are going to be the ones to run this for us and be our eyes and ears. This is a public facility, so, you know, we need somebody to be ambassadors to help keep the players, you know, rolling through and making them understand that, look, this is how you get on a court, and this is who goes next, and this is how you play, matching players with their player level, because obviously I'm a newbie. I've only played like 3 times, so I played at Elmwood today, where I belong at the gym, and I was watching these two teams play. I said, I ain't put my paddles anywhere near these guys. Way too good for me. So thank y'all for doing this. Thank y'all for being here tonight, and we look forward to seeing you out on the court soon.
Thank you, Councilman. Thank you so much. Thank you for everything. Okay, so I'm going to turn it back over to Mario Bazille, and we'll get back to the regular programming. Thanks.
Thank you. So a couple of things first. I want to make sure that I introduce some people tonight, because they were instrumental in getting this project off the ground. I want to introduce our Deputy COO, Ms. Shireen Gegenheimer, in the back. And then we have Leo Webb, he's our Director of Parks. Harold Bueller, Director of Recreation. Buzz Constant, he's our Operations Manager for Facilities for JPRD. Thank you. And then at the table over here, where'd Joe go? Joe LaCava. Where's Joe? Joe's not here, but Joe is the social media guy. He's our information specialist for the department. So he's the one that's been communicating with you guys and getting the word out. So look, thank you very much to all of those people. It's been a long time coming, and we're just excited to be here. So before we start, I wanted to ask a question. Who in the crowd was at Delta when I got ambushed about pickleball? That's what I need to know. Where's that group? Okay, thank you. Because of y'all, part of it is because we're here today. So thank y'all for doing that. That was important, because you know, when the parish president came on board in 2020, one of the things that was very important to her was recreation. And we were struggling in 2019 to 2020. Participation was down, playground usage was down, and part of her vision was to get people back to the playgrounds and better ways to utilize some of these facilities that have been dormant with no participation. So I know, you know, pickleball has been a huge part of how we're getting better usage out of our facilities. You look at Delta. I know a lot of you play at Delta. I mean, that is just, it's rocking and rolling over there. Bright. On the West Bank, Belterre. So we're getting some utilization. We appreciate you guys being involved. Another thing I'd like to thank you for is the millage. You know, you guys went out and voted and approved the millage for another 10 years. Look, that was huge for us, and it was approved by an overwhelming majority. So we really appreciate that because those funds go to support that complex that was just built. So we appreciate you doing that. I'm going to turn it over to the parish president now because what we'd like to do is the format, we're not going to keep you in here long, but what we're going to talk about is things that are very important because Cynthia decided that we needed ambassadors, and who better to choose to help us operate this complex. This is not a staffed complex. This playground is, but that facility is basically going to be self-run by you all, the ambassadors, those of you that are going to play here on a regular basis. So we want to make sure that you guys feel comfortable in taking that responsibility, and if you don't get a shirt. So if you don't want to be an ambassador, you don't get a shirt. So hopefully you guys will appreciate what we're trying to accomplish here, and Cynthia's going to talk a lot about that tonight. So we'll do that. We'll go over the structure and how the complex is going to be run, how you guys are going to help us run it. We'll talk about a little bit about the logistics of where things are, restrooms, AED machines, where to park, all that. We'll go over that. And then we'll finish up with, we'll hand out the T-shirts, and then we're actually going to go over to the courts, and we're going to play some pickleball. And I know, yes. So last thing I'm going to mention is that on Saturday is our official ribbon cutting here at 9 o'clock. We're hoping all of you, if you have the time, to come out. We're expecting a big crowd for the true ribbon cutting. So it's going to be real exciting. So thank you so much, and I'll turn it over to Cynthia.
Thank you. All right, thanks everyone. I also want to acknowledge Rachel and Neil is in our public information office team, and they're going to push out a video. And I think you want to get interviews today with players, Neil, right? So they're going to be going around and look for our social media page. We'll do a real good instructional video. We're really pleased and happy with this complex. It's been many years in the making, and we want to invite other people to play with us. So I know I'm speaking to the choir here, and I know probably 95% of this crowd. And guess what? I didn't know 95% of this crowd a year and a half ago. And that is the strength of pickleball. It brings forth a community. I've played sports my entire life, and there's been no other sport that I've met so many people and had so many deep, really good friends than pickleball. It's something about the sport, and it's something about the way it's played. But the growth is tremendous, and I think it's because of that community, because it's all ages, because it's so inviting. That is why we're having such incredible growth in pickleball. I looked up the statistics, guys. There's 68,000 courts in the United States, but a third of those courts were added last year. That's the growth. And you just look at this area. We all know the number of courts where we were playing. And just like this week, Pickleplex opened with how many courts? 85? 7. And now we're adding 9. That's 16 courts just in this area. The Pickler is coming to Jefferson Parish. If you don't know, the Pickler is a national franchise, and they're coming to Elmwood where Court Furniture Rental is, the first one in Louisiana right here in Jefferson Parish. So the strength of our community, I'm sure they did their research. They were like, we're going to do pickleball in Louisiana, we're going to do it right here. So we want to remain a strong community, okay? And look, I'm going to say kudos to the team because people think, oh, the parish president started playing pickleball and now that's why we have this pickleball complex. Absolutely not. I did not play pickleball. We were doing Recreation Reimagined. We were having a lot of community meetings back in 2021, but kudos to the vision of these guys and men and women who really aren't pickleball players, but they knew the trends going on around the country and they wanted Jefferson Parish to be in that mix. And they planned this 4 years ago, Mario, if not more. So kudos to them. But exponential growth in this sport. As I said, all ages can compete. I'm 58. I never would have thought I would have been playing competitive sports again. I just never thought. I had to give up my first love, volleyball. Had to give up all these other sports. Just never thought I'd be out there having that competitive spirit again. So the reason why we want this to be a community facility is we're different from the other places that we play. We are community-based. This facility is brought to you by the taxpayers of Jefferson Parish, and that we're public, okay? We're not for profit, we're public. So I think all of us in government have an obligation to make sure these courts are used to the best and highest use, that as many people can use it as possible, that they get full use, that one taxpayer, one constituent drives up, doesn't have 3 friends that play pickleball and is able to get in a game. That's community. That's the community of pickleball. I was in that situation. I did not have any of my friends who played pickleball. I had to go get lessons for myself. The Exchange, my first love, I was there taking lessons, right? None of my friends played pickleball, but I quickly made friends. And that is the strength of this community, and I think that's why we're all so passionate about this sport. And I want this facility to represent the very best of this sport. We have 9 courts. We can play the best, most competitive game. I'm looking at some of you here. I know y'all are gonna love the challenge court. I got a challenge court for you. And we can be an on-ramp for beginners and be welcoming to beginners. We have enough space to do it all. And that's the vision that we have for this pickleball court, to be all things to all people, because we do have enough space, okay? So that's what we're here for as the Ambassador Program. As I mentioned, it's a $2 million facility. It's $1.2 million, and kudos to Recreation for getting that money together, and Councilman Bonanno kicking in another $800,000 for this public court. So it's not gonna be courts where you're gonna just first come, first serve, and you jump on there and you get to stay all day. That's not the kind of courts this is. It's open play, okay? And how many of us have played open play? Anybody put a paddle in a rack, put a stack of benches, that's open play, all right? It fits the open play model at these courts, fits with our vision of being open to everybody, getting the most use out of the courts, creating a community of players, bringing in new players into the fold, and again, because we're not for profit. As I mentioned, I want one person who's never played pickleball to be able to drive up and feel welcomed and be taught, and people introduce themselves to that person, and we take care of those new people. Because the more we can grow our community, the better our businesses will do. I just met the owner of Pickleplex, and I was kind of sheepishly saying, like, we got 9 courts opening this week. I want him to be a successful businessman. But I said, look, I'm going to create new players for you. I'm the on-ramp. I'm free. And the more players I can create, the more you will do well as a business, a profit-making business, and I want him to succeed. So we have our place in this community to be very open and create new players with the beginners, right? Okay. And if you are someone, I got to just say it, like if you are someone who just kind of wants to get your game with your 3 people and just play that way all night, that's probably a court rental situation, right? That's probably better met with a court rental situation. And Mario, we're going to have court rentals on the old courts, the tennis courts, that will be available for court rental, okay? Next week, you think the queue will open? Okay, so that's why we said we need an ambassador program of players who are gonna help us with this vision and understand why we want this vision. And I'm just gonna say it, I thought about not saying it, but I'm gonna say it. When I started playing, I was looking for places to play, and everybody told me, don't go to this one facility because they're not nice there. And I never went. Everybody said it. Everywhere I went, don't go there. They're not nice there. You got to be really good. Don't go there. And I never went. And truth be told, it might have been 2 people at that place that was doing that. And nobody else, right? But I just don't, I want us to have a good reputation. I want everybody to feel welcomed here, okay? The grand opening is Saturday at 9 a.m. You can wear your Pickleball Ambassador and identify yourself as an ambassador so people know that you're somebody who understands and is helping us and is part of our team who's running these courts. And what do you need to do if you're an ambassador? It's very simple. We just want you to represent the best of this sport for our facility. Create a welcoming environment, introduce yourself, help new people understand our bucket system. We'll go over that. Help new people understand the challenge court. Don't always come here to get your best game. Come here and get in a game so people learn from you. I mean, we all want to play with better players to improve our skills. So sometimes you're the best player on the court, sometimes you're not. I mean, I think that's what open play is all about. We want the better players to teach everybody else, right? Keep this queue going. We really need your help in keeping the queue going, and I'll talk more about that. you're the leaders in this community. I'm not going to ask you to pick up trash, but if you're an ambassador and you see an empty Gatorade bottle and the garbage can's right there, just please pick it up. This is our house, guys. This is our house, okay? And the ambassadors, I want you to feel like this is your house, that you have ownership here, and you understand what we're trying to do. And then, as I said, the more we grow the sport, the better it is for us as a pickleball community to have a lot more places come here to visit us. Okay, so I want to, when I got involved in pickleball and I knew we were having these facilities, everywhere I traveled in the past year and a half, I went and looked at the private courts and the public courts, okay? And I talked to many of you, and I want to give kudos to, where's my Delta folks? Not to, everybody was friendly, but when I went to Delta at the beginning, it was like incredible. Y'all were friendly, said your name, I felt welcomed, all my friends, I'm like, come to Delta. That's the way I want us to be, because y'all were so very welcoming to me as a new player. And then I brought my friends and I said, let's go to Delta, they're really great. And I just want y'all to spread that attitude here. And I always will appreciate it, okay? So thank you for that. And I talked to many of you who have also traveled and been to other courts around the country. And so I want to thank you for your input. Many of you were texting me, telling me places. Many of you told me places in Houston. I visited 2 places in Houston. So we're going to have a challenge court. I saw that in Miami, okay? Court number 5 is directly in the middle. It's like, you'll see, it's 3 rows of courts, and court number 5 is that middle strip and the court in the middle. We looked at it, that has the most visibility. I think that tends to be a very high-playing court, but it doesn't have to be. It's a true challenge court, meaning winner stays all day. Winner stays. It's not 4 on 4 off. If you can win that game, you're staying there all day. Now, if your partner has to leave and go pick up the kids, then your team's just got busted up, right? Both players stay, and we're going to have a separate paddle lineup for that all-level challenge. If you think you can, if I think I can take on these guys and make a fool of myself, maybe I will, but I probably won't, okay? It's all-level play, all right? So that's a true, just simple challenge court in the middle, court number 5. When I was in Miami, it tended to be the best game, and when everybody was kind of waiting for their other games, they were gathering around that court to watch. I loved it. I learned a lot watching those players, and I think we'll all enjoy that. And I know this little section over here is waiting for that challenge court. Okay, so that's you too, Austin. So, all right, so that's court number 5. Okay, I know these guys are ready to pull out their paddles. Okay, first of all, tonight, we're gonna get you to sign. If you and your partner wanna do the challenge court, we're not gonna let you run out there and go play the challenge court. We're gonna pick names, and we're gonna pick the first 2 teams that'll get the first challenge court on this facility, all right? So we'll pick names, and then everybody else can line up if they wanna challenge anybody, okay? So, y'all can take some of them on, I know. All right, so anyway, that's the challenge court. The other courts, we're gonna run like they do it in Texas. I met an instructor in Texas, and he said all of these Houston courts are going on a bucket system, and the players love it. So this is the bucket system. It's mixing the chronological order of how we normally do paddle on the rack with a skill level. And it's kind of, we all know it's better to get in a same skilled game, because the advanced playing against a beginner, they might hit the ball really hard, the beginner gets nervous, the advanced person feels bad that they hit the person. It's just not a real good mix. Playing a little bit within your skill level is probably the best and most challenging game, and I think that's probably the most enjoyable that we all want to play. So you're just basically, instead of putting the paddle on the rack in chronological order, you're kind of doing it in chronological order, but you're kind of saying, you're self-assessing where you are. Everybody in Houston loves it. I talked to the players, I talked to the managers. They started out like we were going to start out having different courts, and they said, no, the bucket system is the most efficient use of that. So I need some more paddles, guys. Can you give me some more paddles? So it's kind of self-explanatory. You come in, you got, let's say and I have it, it's novice to 3.0. These are generally duper. These are generally, guys, nobody's going to check your duper score, and truth be told, most duper scores are not right. You know, I was a 3.5 last year. I wasn't a 3.5. You know, now I think I'm a little lower. Like, the duper scores are never right. Maybe there's a time where you think it's right, but mostly it's not right. So it's more the level that you play, right? And we have guidelines, but we're not enforcing this. This is generally to get you in a game that you want to be in. So don't worry about that, okay? But there are 4 levels. We're calling it, beginner to 3.0 is novice. 3.0 to 3.5 intermediate, 3.5 to 4.0 advanced intermediate, and 4.0 plus advanced. And I talked to many managers, and most of the places in Houston ended up in this grouping, okay? So you come in and at the beginning of the day. Now, look, if you come in and there's just 6 of you, just start playing. I think the buckets are when it gets crowded. If there's enough courts for you to play, but I don't want anybody excluding anybody. I don't want you to just grab your courts and just stay with you. It's an open play facility, and everybody who shows up gets to play in a game, all right? But at the very beginning of the day, there might only be enough for 2 or 3 courts. You just go play, right? But the bucket is when I guess it gets more crowded. But we'll have to figure this out, and we need feedback from all of you. This is just the first attempt. So you put your paddles in. I don't want to mess up your paddles. Okay. So you got the first game, and maybe there's enough folks in there for the 3.0, and then you get an advanced group. Maybe you got enough. Give me more paddles, right? So it goes this way. Next up here, next up here. Okay, then you get, let's say, somebody comes like I would have been by myself, and me and my friend, and then I need more paddles. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, all right. So this is the first lineup, right? So these people got 4. They go play their game. Court up. They go play their game. Ooh, y'all don't want me dropping that Yola. Okay, they go play their game. Bucket goes back here. These people, another court up, court up. You got to watch, right? These people go play their game. I know I got some expensive paddles in there. These people are up next. We don't want to skip them, guys. Like, we don't want these guys to go and skip these people. This is where the ambassadors come in. Play with these folks, whether they're beginner, advanced, like, it doesn't matter. Like, take care of these people. That's the key of the ambassadors. We want it to go in a queue. It's not a perfect queue. It all, like if you play in other places, paddle and rack, you can fill them all. But now that we're breaking into skills, we're going to have some buckets that don't have a full 4, and that's where I need the ambassadors to step in. I'll jump in that game. I'll ask my friends, let's jump in that game. Let's take care of them. I want to take care of people who don't have a full bucket. They don't want to be passed over, right? I wouldn't want to be passed over. You wouldn't want to be passed over. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody kind of gets it? Any kind of questions? We're going to try it. This is how they do it in Houston. It generally works. It's a better system than just chronological order. And what the one guy told me, he's like, the one awkward thing in pickleball is people holding their paddles back because they don't want to play with that one. We all know that feeling. And he's like, it's the one awkward thing in pickleball that it removes. And everybody in Houston loves it. And I visited 2 sites. Yes. Right, I'm going to take these buckets. This is an example. They're on a table out there. We'll have it. And we're going to work it tonight. Y'all are going to work this tonight. So you'll understand and can be really good ambassadors for us. Austin? No, the challenge court is 2 on, 2 off. You're going to be there all day. I know it, okay? Challenge court's different. It's a traditional paddle in the rack, 2 stay who win, and you don't split. You don't take the winner and split. That team stays together, and 2 people challenge. So it's not bucket system on the challenge court. I don't think there's another challenge court in the area. So winner stays and doesn't split, but if one person's got to pick up their kids, the winning team's busted up, right? You understand, Austin? Okay. I know where he's going to be. Y'all see. Christian too. Where's Christian? Noor. These kids are going to be on the challenge court. I know. Our best players are 14 and under. Okay. 15 and under. Sorry, you just had a birthday. That's right. Okay. So does everybody understand? Any questions? We got it? You got it? What? Yeah, come give an example. Because you probably know this system. Go ahead.
What's up, guys? So if you pull up to the court and you see that this only has 2, and you're a novice and you want to play a novice game, you and your buddy, instead of bringing back to the line you and your friend's paddle, you can fill this game up. Yeah. So you don't have to necessarily go into the back of the line if you see a bucket that's not full, yeah, and you want to enter in that game. So that's just something
Yes. Thank you. Yes, you should fill them all up as we go. But I'm saying if nobody's there, the game's up and there's only 2. We got to take care of these people. Somebody's got to play this game with them. Right? But yeah, if this has 3 and you come up, you fill it up to each has 4 until it has 4, right? It's just that if they don't have anybody in that bucket. Yes. Yes.
I'm not sure, but let's just say there's gonna be 8 buckets or something, right? And I'm way down here, but there's a place up here, it's almost like I gotta
Jump in it, jump in, jump in. No, because all we're trying to do is line it up, but we need this going out this way to the courts. So if somebody's like this, and I come up, I mean, anybody can jump in. This is the next one up, so I should take my paddle over here and jump in. We're trying to get the first one out filled. But don't move anybody else's paddle, guys, right? That's not cool. We know that. That's not cool. Don't, okay, I had to say it, right? Don't move anybody else's paddle. But if you're back here and there's an open spot up there, jump in it, because we're trying to get this side filled first, because these are the first out, right? You can, because I should pay attention. Like if I'm here or here and you jump me, I should have been watching the whole time, so I should have been jumping like to that next one, right? Yes, sir.
I do have a comment about the Chinese court. So there's a lot of other courts we usually play like this. If you stay for 3 games straight, you should yield the court. You cannot stay there for hours.
Right.
Especially when too many people. Another idea I think is if we have multiple pairs to challenge them, they still have to have an order, not just for one to challenge them, they challenge.
Right. So we will have an order on the challenge court. We have a paddle rack, so it'll be chronological order, next 2 go up. And then really, nobody should be staying on the court for 3 times. It's 4 on the other courts. It's 4 on, 4 off, like we play all the time. So nobody should be on those courts. But challenge, some of these guys might be on this court all day. Some of these guys might be on the court all day, right? And that's the beauty of a challenge court. You're the king of the mountain, guys, or the queen of the mountain. Any other questions? Look, we're going to go do it today. I'm not doing it. Y'all are going to do it, and we're going to figure it out. And we want feedback. We want feedback, but we're going to go do this. Okay, so I think, like Mario said, this is not, look at these guys already putting their tennis shoes on. Okay, complex is not a staff facility. Mario's going to go over the rules, but the 12-year-olds, I got y'all in here because some of the 12-year-olds are really good. We don't, more rules. This was my rule. We're not having music because we don't have this staff facility. I can't have a lot of complaints, and music is something that is just going to generate complaints. So the music of the pickleball hitting the paddle is our music, okay? And we do reserve the right to have fun events, but we're going to post it well ahead of time. So we don't know what that looks like yet, but generally it's open play courts, community-based play, and then if we have tournaments or fun things, we'll do that. Yes. Oh, okay, I'm gonna let 8 to 9, 9 to 8, 8 to 9, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. And the ribbon cutting, we want you all there wearing your ambassador shirt, helping us along. Is Saturday at 9 a.m. We'll have some speeches and do a ribbon cutting, and then the courts will be open. So the courts will not be open tomorrow and Friday. We won't open again until Saturday. Okay? Yeah, Jan. The gates are going to be locked. We know how y'all are. I had them lock the gates today. I said, y'all don't know these people. They will be out there playing before we can have this meeting. Lock those gates. I know. Yes. 8 to 9 is, I think, the consistent with the tennis courts and everything, that consistent with the rest, okay? So before Mario's gonna, we're not quite finished. I know y'all want to play, but who am I turning it over to? Okay.
I did want to ask you, so you mentioned to me about sometimes people skip, like they'll rearrange the buckets. Is that a thing?
No, you should not be taking a bucket and doing this to it.
Right.
You're jumping somebody. You're cutting in line. But if you see an opening, you can fill it. From back here, can fill it. And it really is, these people should have been paying attention if they wanted to jump in this game, right? I mean, you can always go this way. But don't move anybody else's paddle. Don't be like, I'm not doing that. I'm going here. Don't do that motion. Y'all understand what I'm saying. Okay? All right? Okay. We'll get it today. We'll figure it out.
I'm gonna turn it over to Buzz and Harold. I did want to mention, I think one of the challenges you're going to find is that with this court, as opposed to the other outdoor courts that we have, you're going to have people that are going to show up as a family with an ice chest, and thinking that they can just come and play pickleball for an hour. So that's going to be an adjustment, I think, for these courts, because they don't understand the difference between open play, which is these courts, and free play, which is going to be those courts and all the other outdoor courts that we currently have. You know, because we see it a lot over here, and it's fine, we let them do that, but they'll come with a family, or they'll come with a group of 4, and they'll just want to go and play by themselves. They don't want to play anybody else. So that's going to be a challenge here, because that's not this facility. This facility is open play, the way the parish president just explained, the way you guys are comfortable playing. So just be aware of that as the complex opens. There's going to be a phase-in period where people are going to have to start understanding how this is going to work. We do. Yep, we do have signs. They're posted up there, so you guys can read that. These guys will go over that. Any other questions about that? I know you had your hand up. Okay. Yeah, we do have signs. Okay, I'll turn it over to, yes, sir. It's going to be a sign up, so it's online. But you can go, if there's free courts, you can go play. But if you want, if a group of 4, you want to just play with your friends, you can sign up online and play for an hour, okay? So that will be available on the JPRD Recreation sign up. Yeah, on the courts across the street, not this complex. The old tennis courts, right, yes. Yep, good question, thank you. Okay. We probably have to consider that. Yeah, we probably have to consider. This is the complex. Those are just the courts. So that's the verbiage right now. Yeah.
All right, hey everybody, just wanted to introduce myself real quick. I'm Harold Buell, I'm the director of the Recreation Department. I want to thank our parish president, her team, Mario, Leo Webb, Buzz, and their capital projects team for putting this together and having such a great facility. This is going to be a great area for everyone here. We have our Real Area Center here that we're in, which is for people, adults and children with developmental disabilities. We have our softball complex, which is going to be very busy at this time of year. Over there, it's always going to be packed, and of course, our pickleball courts. So I really want to thank everybody for joining. Coming tonight, I have here, I just want to introduce Mr. Kyle Arsenault. He's our supervisor at Mike Miley. Richie Clement, who works here also at Mike Miley. There'll be some familiar faces. That's Evan Arsenault, Kyle's son back there in the corner. He's around quite a bit. In the back corner, I have Miss Michelle Dearman, Miss Wendy Zacconi, Miss Erin Ruddock, and Miss Tiffany Curtis. They are very involved at the softball complex. And then I have Leslie Dunn is here, and Jeff Berg. I don't think they're in here right now, but they work here at the Real Area Center. So you're going to have a lot of people visible at night. So we want y'all to really enjoy these courts, and thank y'all for coming tonight. I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Buzz to go over a few of the logistics. Thank y'all. Forgot about Mr. Darren Cook. He's in the corner, and Donovan Mayer as well. Donovan works here, but Darren has been real instrumental. They'll be here a lot. Thank y'all.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to try to be as quick as possible because I know you're getting antsy and you want to go try it out. So my job is to let you know where everything is. First off, we have 3 big signs with a map on them. One here, one right here by the main entrance, and one leading from to the restrooms. Okay, so our main parking lot and the main entrance to the complex is right out here, okay, on Eisenhower, which is soon going to be Pickleball Court. Okay, that's where we would like everyone to park and enter, okay? This time of year, we have a lot going on in this building, and we have a lot going on at the softball complex. We want to leave this parking lot in the front for them, and you guys can take up the parking lot across the street in the grass and along the street, okay? We will have parking on this side of the street only, no parking on the other side so that we can have people come in and go. And then everybody's welcome to park in the grass if the parking lot is full. So please let everybody know the main entrance and everybody to park right out here, okay, on pickleball court. Restroom facilities will be at the softball complex. They'll be open. If the concession stand's open, you're willing to partake if you'd like. If you're looking for a Powerade or a water, we have the Coke machine right outside these doors, along with the water fountains. It's a breezeway right out here. You'll be able to walk. There's a couple of picnic tables and some benches. Inside the pickleball complex, we have 2 breezeways. We have 10 benches and 4 small bleachers. So we've got plenty of seating for you guys. Our AED machine, if needed, is located on the wall by the softball complex where the restrooms are. Okay? Safety reminders. Right now we have sponge rollers in case it does rain. You can use them whenever needed. We'll have a little push broom if there's any kind of dirt on a court. If that happens, you could just push it off to the side. We have enough garbage cans. Please, if you see anything on the courts or in the breezeways, just put it in a can for us. We will be cleaning every day, okay? Like the parish president said, in 2 weeks, we will be opening up the 4 courts across the street for reserve play. We'll be doing that through Rec 1. We'll be blasting it out on social media when it's ready, okay? Quickly, for the court rules, yes, it is going to be open from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m., 7 days a week. 9 o'clock, somebody's going to come by, say, everybody, we're about to turn off the lights. So we'll be turning off the lights, and once everybody's gone, we'll lock everything up. No alcohol, no music, pickleball only. Okay, no tennis, no skateboards, nothing like that. Court number 5 is the challenge court. The other courts are all set up for different levels of play, from beginner to championship. You know, so that's basically what I have. I'll be around all night long, getting your comments and your questions. Okay? So everybody understands we want to keep everybody parking on this side, correct? We want to leave softball over there for the softball people, and this area in the front for the special needs building. Yes, yes. On this side, street parking only on this side. Everything else across the street is in the grass or in the parking lot. Okay? All right, but yes, everybody comes through this entrance. All right? I want to say thank you for being very patient with us, and I hope you all enjoy this because it's been a good project for us. Okay?